Hi Year 11, this video is feedback about the paper 2 mock exam. So I'm just going to go through how you should have done each question, sort of give you sort of ideas of where you did well and where you did not so well. So the first question, I was a bit disappointed with this, certainly from the guys in my class. 0.6 squared. I think most of you realise that means it's 0.6 times 0.6, and I got all kinds of crazy answers, okay? Multiplying decimals should be straightforward enough, because basically what you do is you don't multiply decimals together. What you do is you say, okay, I can't do 0.6 squared, but I can do 6 squared, and 6 times 6 is equal to 36. And then I simply look at the question and I say, how many decimal places, not decimal points, how many decimal places are there in the answer? So there's 2 decimal places in the answer. So what I've got to do is put the decimal point such that there's 2 decimal places in the answer. So the answer is going to be 0.36. I saw lots of mad answers like 3.6, 0.036. I even saw 1.2. It's not 0.6 plus 0.6, so I don't know where you got that from. Okay, question 2 was done pretty well by my guys. You just got to simplify it. So we can do 16 out of 60 has common factors of 2, so I can divide it by 2. That'd be 8 over 30. Which also has a common factor of 2 to be 4 over 15. So 4 over 15 has, there's no common factors between 4 and 15. So that's going to be your answer. Okay? And then work out 4 elevenths plus 5 elevenths. Well, that's nice and easy because the denominator is already the same. It's simply 9 over 11. And I think most of you got those 2 questions right. Okay. As with 3 was done okay, just a simple expansion. So x times x cubed is x to the power of 4 minus 4x squared. Okay, now question 4 was not done well. 430 centimetres squared into metres squared. Well, basically, I saw a lot of you doing this kind of thing. You basically said 1 metre equals 100 centimetres. So 430 centimetres squared must be equal to 4.3 metres squared. Absolutely not. No way, no way, no way, no way. You cannot use this conversion. That is for metres to centimetres, not metres squared to centimetres squared. Think of it like this. Here is a square. And it's a 1 metre by a 1 metre square. So then the area is 1 square metre. Think of the same square, which is 100 centimetres by 100 centimetres. Okay, it's the same square because 1 metre is 100 centimetres. So it's going to be, the area is going to be 10,000 centimetres squared. Okay, so what we've got is we've got a conversion of 1 metre squared is equal to 10,000 centimetres squared. So 430 centimetres squared. Well, if I'm going from here to here, I basically need to divide by 10,000. Okay? So I need to divide 430 by 10,000. So 430 over 10,000 means, means moving the decimal place 4 points. So 430 has its decimal point there. Move it 4 points to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. And fill in the gaps. Sorry about that. It will be 0.043, well I don't need the 0, so 0.043 metres squared. Okay, write down the value of 16 to the power of 0. This was absolutely frustrating. It's just a fact that you have to remember. that you clearly haven't remembered that anything to the power of 0 is equal to 1. Any number to the power of 0. 412 to the power of 0 equals 1. 68 to the power of 0 equals 1. 1 to the power of 0 equals 1. So 16 to the power of 0 equals 1. Anything to the power of 0 is equal to 1. And, you know, let's just prove that fact. It should be quite obvious. Let's just look at 2 cubed is equal to 8. 2 squared is equal to 4. 2 to the power of 1 is equal to 2. 2 to the power of 0. What I'm doing each time is I'm dividing by 2. So if I do 2 divided by 2, I will get 1. Anything to the power of 0 is equal to 1. Please remember that fact. Okay, now question 6, again, was very disappointing because a lot of you tried to deal with factors, not multiples. This is the lowest common multiple. I can't think of a reason why you'd be interested in the lowest common factor because it's always going to be 1. Okay? But you got confused. It's not factors we're interested in here, it's multiples. So one way of doing this is just list out some multiples of 20. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140. List some out. Then list out factors of multiples of 24. So 24, 48, 72, 96, 120. That's going to be the lowest multiple that is common to both of those lists. So there is your answer, okay? Now, I don't know whether you've been taught, certainly my guys, I don't know whether you were taught this way or not, but another way of doing it is to do the prime factor decomposition of 20 and 24. So remember these little factor trees. So 20 can be written as 10 times 2, 5 times 2. So it can be written as 2 times 2 times 5. And 24 can be written as 6 and 4, 3 and 2, 2 and 2. So 24 can be written as 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. Then what we do is we make a Venn diagram. Okay, and one of the circles is going to represent 20, the other circle is going to represent 24. What I do is I put inside the Venn diagram any numbers that can be shared. So basically I can share 2 2's between 20 and 24. So let's put that in there like that. And missing from the 20 then is going to be 5, so put that in that region there. And missing from 24 is going to be another 2 and a 3. Okay? Now once you've got the Venn diagram done correctly, the highest common factor, which is what a lot of you tried to find out for no reason whatsoever, because it doesn't ask you to, is the numbers in the middle multiplied together. So 2 times 2 equals 4. The lowest common multiple is all the numbers that you can see multiplied together. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. That's just all of these numbers multiplied together. And you'll find that comes 8 times 3 is 24, times 5 is 120. So we get the same answer. Okay, so 2 ways of doing that question. Please try to remember the difference between a factor and a multiple. Again, question 7 also disappointed me. This is not that tough a question, really. What I saw here was many of you trying to substitute x as 25. Okay, that is not what it's saying. The question is saying f of x is equal to x cubed minus 2. It's not saying find f of x when x is 25. It's saying find x when f of x is 25. So you should have done 25 is equal to x cubed minus 2. So x cubed is equal to 27. Simply add 2 to both sides. So x is equal to the cubed root of 27. So what number times by itself 3 times gives you 27? The answer is 3. A lot of you I saw doing this, try and work out 25 cubed minus 2. No, it's not saying x is 25. It's saying f of x is 25. So what is x? Okay, please read the question very, very carefully. Right, this question, certainly my guys, the method you did was good, but I think you made some mistakes with multiplying on some occasions, but basically you've got to use Pythagoras' theorem, and most of you recognise that you're trying to find a shorter side, so x squared is equal to 26 squared minus 24 squared. So how do we do 26 squared? Remember, we don't have a calculator here, so we're going to do 26 times 26. Grid method, okay? That gives me 400, 120, 120, 36. Add them all together, that's going to be what? 640, 676. Okay? 24 squared, 24, 24. It's going to give me 400, 80, 80, 16, so that's 560, 576. Okay, and so that is going to be, 676 minus 576 is nice and easy. That's going to be 100. And so x is the square root of 100. X is equal to 10. Okay, so most of you did understand that you had to do this calculation, but then you did your multiplication badly. Okay, that's where you made your mistake. All right. Now, question 9. Super disappointed with my guys here because you know what to do. You demonstrated that you knew what to do by first of all calling this equation 1 and this equation 2, and then multiplying equation 2 by 3. Okay, so we end up with 6x minus 3y equals 5. And then keep with equation 1 as 4x plus 3y equals 0. Then, so we label these equation 3 and equation 4. Then I saw you saying, okay, let's do equation 3 minus equation 4. No. Why would you do that? Because if you do that, you're going to get 6x minus 4x is 2x, minus 3y minus positive 3y is equal to minus 6y, and 5 minus 0 is 5. Have you managed to eliminate x or y? No, you haven't. So that was the wrong approach to take. You're not always subtracting the equations. Sometimes you have to add them. So you end up with 10x and minus 3y, add 3y is equal to nothing. Now you've eliminated the y. Okay, and 5 plus 0 is 5. So x is equal to a half. Okay, you've not finished. You now need to find out what y is. So we're going to substitute back into any of those equations, and I'm going to pick equation 2, because 2 times x, 2 times a half is just 1. So 1 minus y is equal to 5. So solving that equation, 1 is equal to 5 plus y. Y is equal to 1 minus 5, which is negative 4. Y is equal to negative 4. Okay? And there's no excuses for getting this wrong, because what you can now do is you can check your answer by putting it into another equation. So I'm going to put my answers into equation 1. So 4 times a half plus 3 times negative 4. Is that equal to 0? And what we're going to find out is, well, 4 times a half is 2, plus minus 12 is equal to negative 10. So did I do it right? No. Somewhere in this process, I must have made a mistake, okay? And I know that because I've checked my answer, put it into one of the other equations, and it's come out wrong. So I know I've done it wrong, so I'm going to have to start again, okay? So let's start again. This is what you do if you make a mistake. So let's do it again. So I decided to do equation 2 times 3. Take the time to start completely again, which is going to be 6x minus 3y, and hopefully you've spotted the mistake that I made. I didn't multiply 5 by 3, okay? I know I make mistakes. This time it was deliberate because I wanted to demonstrate the process of checking, okay? So that was the mistake I made. So then now we're going to do the same thing. 4x plus 3y equals 0. Okay, so we've got now equation 3 and equation 4. I'm going to add them. Okay, which is going to be 10x equals 15. So perhaps x is 3 over 2, 1.5. Let's just call that 1.5. Now substitute that back into one of the equations. Let's go to equation 2. 2 lots of 1.5 is 3, minus y is equal to 5. So rearranging, 3 equals 5 plus y is equal to minus 2. Okay, now check your answers. So we've got 4 times 1.5 for x plus 3 times negative 2 should be equal to 0. Well, that's 6 minus 6 was equal to 0. So now I've got it right, and I know I've got it right because I did a check. When you're solving equations, you can always know whether you did it right by just doing a little check. Okay? Right, question 10 was done pretty well. We can factor out certainly an x, and then we need something to go inside. We can also factor out some numbers. I think there's a common factor between 12 and 27 of 3. So I can factor out 3 as well, which means inside I need to have 4x minus 9y. Okay, most of you did a good job with that question. Right, I'm going to stop the video there to avoid it getting